Backed by popular demand, Steve and I are getting together for a Christmas show. And Steve takes everything to heart, right? So, Santa, Mark Antonio,
Yeah, Merry
Santa
Christmas.
Steve, Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Merry
I'm
Christmas to
only,
you too, Dale.
I believe in things that you can't see, like synchronicity and things like that that happen that are laid out. It's already a plan. And I'm just thinking about what's happening in the metals today. And when we did that show that even gold bulls didn't like hated miners, that was really a major call down there.
Really,
And I
really.
and I and I think that it's possible that we're ending this phase of the cycle up here, and there's going to be an interruption in the debasement trade that is so widely embraced by everyone right now.
Yeah,
And
because yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
go ahead.
Well, I
And
just think
go
a lot
ahead.
of people are piling on right at the end, right? But
Yeah.
that's the thing, though, Dale. Like when we came out in January about the metals, and we were really people can go back and look at that podcast, but me and you were really putting our feet to the ground and
It
putting our
was
feet to the fire,
contrarian. It was
saying
very
it's coming.
contrarian. Yeah.
And a lot of people took it. I got so many messages on that saying thank you. One person made some, I know, generational wealth with it. They took a big risk, but they were confident and they paid off, right?
Yeah.
So
Nice. Good story.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So, what we're going to do to add value for people watching is talk about what's coming up next year. So I've given a little bit of it away, but you want to start off talking about energy. And I've been talking to a lot of people about energy and any ratio that you put up, like silver against oil or gold against oil or S&P against oil, it's historically cheap. It's been unloved. And, we have things happening geopolitically. I think Venezuela is going to heat up and that there could be a little bit of an oil shock this year. So I know you like it. So let's take a look at what you're seeing.
The reason why I think Trump has a lot to do with oil being suppressed, and the reason why I
Yeah,
do say this is because I don't know if people remember when oil went to minus 40. Like that's
yeah,
impossible. That is, Dale, it's impossible. That can never happen. I would never in 100 years, if somebody told me that oil would have went negative, I would have said you're crazy. But
yeah.
it did, and he called it. So when you see that oil, he made a couple phone calls here and there, and it worked out. But what I'm saying is, eventually the oil companies are going to say, "Listen, Mr. Trump, we did what you said. We helped you, but now like we can't make any money. It's like break even prices you're drilling. We did what you did. We helped you contain inflation because energy has to do everything with inflation, as you all know. You
Great point.
control energy prices, you control the inflation because everything is made by oil and energy, unless they find something else in the future that doesn't need it, which I heard there is some
Can you
things
imagine
that
what
they.
the inflation numbers will be like if that when that turns?
And then
You
that's when the market's going to turn. That's what I think.
okay?
That's when the market's going to stall right there.
Okay.
They'll have to raise interest rates. He even mentioned it, Trump, in his tweet yesterday, I think. He's like, let this interest rates go lower, let the market continue to go up. And if there is a spike in inflation, raise rates. He said it. And there's your top.
Yeah.
But he wants everything to continue, right? And he's
Yeah.
probably going to get his wish along with his energy for so long. But these energy companies are going to strike back, saying, "Listen, enough's enough. Like we got to, that's what I think."
I mean, we
I
had a nice run in nat gas that fell apart with
oh,
bad weather, but that was a huge run.
huge.
I don't think it's going to new lows. I'm starting to look at
No,
where I should get back into nat gas.
I agree, and we called NatGas too. That was part of our last show that we were saying NatGas going higher, and it did. So
Let's
just to
hear.
let you know, so
Yeah.
this is what I got for oil. I
Okay.
have
Let's
that
look at
gas
that.
here too. So
Okay.
this is let's start with I'll go just at like an intraday kind of chart here, and
Okay.
then I'll move on to like monthly and weekly. But This is what I have for oil. I was bullish oil last week. I said that there's very high probability this low is going to be in only because my bands turned up and it ended up being the low and it got into my lower bands, as you well know, where
Yeah,
moves tend to terminate kind of like here. So this is very bullish. And as you can see, we got an A pivot hit here to the tick. So this is in sync for higher. I like that my upper band's higher and broke my line in the sand. I'm giving this a very high probability the 57.70 is going to hold, and we're going to continue on to 59.30. A break of 59.30, very
yeah,
quick move to 61. This is in the intermediate term. Maybe in January this would hit, maybe January, February. But bigger picture, because this shows about a bigger picture, I'm liking oil. I'm liking it bullish as long as the 57.70 holds, and even 57.40. Trump always said he liked 55, by the way, Dale. I had a video of Trump saying he liked 55. This was maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It ended up being 55. Unbelievable, eh? It ended up
yeah.
being 55 alone bounced. It's like he
He's a
he
good
made a deal.
he's a good technician. I wonder
He
what
made
kind
a
of
deal.
charts he uses.
I think he made a deal with these. He picked up the phone and made a deal. And these guys said, no problem, Trump,
Yeah,
we will help you and we will contain the base of 55. It's not I had a pivot here too, but 55, I'm pretty sure people listening to the show, this was about a year and a half ago. They asked him, what do you consider a low price in oil? He said 55. This was a year ago. You're not, I wish I saved the video. I
yeah.
tried to look for it. I can't find it.
That's
I wish
really
I bookmarked it. It's out
fascinating.
there. If anybody finds it, please let me know and post it here because he did say it. I just happened to lose where that video was, but just a nice spike. I like higher as long as that 57.70 stays intact, which I think it will. I like that my upper band is up, lower band. We got bazooka blocks here. And notice here the big bazooka blocks here. This is about 12,000 contracts in total here. This also as well. And prices above it. And I always said these look like buys. So here's the shakeout.
Yeah.
And now you got the move. So let's see if we can get a continuation
And
with
it
it.
took out the stops from about, I don't know, a year ago
Oh,
or
big
five
time.
5 months ago
Yeah.
and turned right on that. It cleaned out the last long. It was like a throwover if you use
It's
trend
funny how you
lines.
say that because
Yeah,
look at this. Take out the stops, bazooka block,
yeah,
boom. Take
yeah,
out the stops, bazooka block, boom. Take out the stops. It's the oil is a stop hunter and a half. Wick
yeah.
and go. And it's obvious. Just look at the charts. You'll see what they're doing. And it provides liquidity for these institutions. That's why you get bazooka blocks down here. When they take out the stops, they end up typical retail will put their stops where institutions are buying
Right.
because they hunt them. And then you get these bazooka blocks of just major contracts right at the lows in my bands, and they look like buys because they're obviously in my bands. And we're prices when it's in my bands, it's we kind of decide like this looks like a buy. It matches up with this pivot.
Yeah.
The oscillator is buried. I like that my oscillator is crossed as well. So there's the change in trend. Let's see if we can continue to move forward. But I got one more, Joe, I want to show you, which is my monthly. So
Yeah.
this is the
Want to
bigger
see your
picture.
telescope. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the bigger picture me and Dale are talking about for 2026. Um, and here's my monthly, and you'll see, just look at these bazooka blocks on the
Yeah.
monthly. Look at that wick. And we got that A pivot. We broke the L. I think we're going to continue higher if the 54 to 55 holds. Now we could definitely shoot undercut again if they want to trip stops and there's a lot of stops down below. They might hunt them. We could get the 52.75 that matches my lower band here. If 54.70 breaks, if it does,
Yeah. I
I
don't think
think it
so.
holds. I think it
Yeah.
holds. I like this wick.
Yeah.
Um, there's the little fake right here, right? There
Yeah.
on the monthly, look at that. They hunted, boom.
That's it.
So if we continue higher, which I think we are, we could see a move to 77.50 and above that 80.
Yeah.
And I also have,
I
if
like
that
that target.
77.50 breaks, and we got some geopolitical event, which Jill, it could do
Yeah.
what silver's doing, and
Yeah.
oil just flies. Maybe Iran's back in. I don't know if you heard last week. Did you hear Israel? They're like,
They're getting ready.
Iran's back on the radar.
Yeah.
They're pumping. Iran is building, so it's
Yeah.
getting ready for the new year
You
where
know
there's some
that that 78 level was the high of the move that we had when the US bombed their nuclear sites.
Isn't it
Uh,
crazy? And it matches
yeah,
right up.
yeah,
Now,
it's right there.
if there is that geopolitical, I do got something that's higher, which is 91.70 and 91.80. That would be
Yeah,
geopolitical wise, it would probably have to get there where it just doesn't move like silver. It just keeps on going and just a massive, $4 or $5 gains a day. But that would have to need a trigger. And there is triggers out there, as you well said. Venezuela, if it escalates even more and goes towards Iran, and then you got the Straits of Hormuz. If I
yeah.
think next time, if Iran does get hit again, which is a possibility,
They will block the
I think they would
straits.
close the Straits. I think they're going to close the Straits. And then that would be the 91, even higher, probably.
There are choke points in the Caribbean too. Cuba.
Yes.
I mean, we may be in Venezuela because of Rubio has wanted Cuba to be free and overthrow the government for a long time. So this
True.
Venezuela also, Steve, they pump the real thick black tar type of oil. And we import that, even though we frack, it's a different type of oil and it's a lighter, sweet crude. But all our
Nice.
refineries along the Gulf Coast are built to refine the thick type of gummy crude that Venezuela has. So we need that type of WTI, all our refineries on the
Venezuela's
Gulf
got
Coast.
massive amounts of oil.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's I mean, a call like that could make your year. Okay, just
yes.
like silver
Hopefully
did.
we get a double whammy. I think we are. This is where we're putting our feet to the fire, just like we did, Bill, back in January. I'm putting my feet to the fire here. I like the setup. I think it's a good. Um, I think eventually oil's going to be let go, where Trump's going to be. I think there's going to be geopolitical. If you look at the U.S. positioning, their naval forces, and
Yeah,
just the amount of equipment, something's happening. You don't spend that kind of money to position military assets all around the Caribbean, around the world. That's a lot of money. A lot of people on those ships. A lot of troops are on those ships. I don't know. I think there's one of them I just read last week. There's 10,000 or
yeah,
so troops on a big naval. That
yeah,
costs a lot of money, Dale.
yeah.
It's a
There's
lot of
20,
money.
thirty
It's in
thousand.
the bill.
Yeah,
It's in the
yeah.
billions costing every day. And
And
this
you
is
know who offered to help Venezuela, of course,
Russia. Oh,
Iran
Iran.
and Russia, and Russia. So all of the U.S. adversaries are lining up. China's very involved in Venezuela. So this Monroe Doctrine has issues with the adversaries that are there that we
So you
already,
think the pawns are being positioned on the chessboard right now, and it's
yeah,
about who's going to checkmate and when those pawns are going to start to move.
yeah.
What's
And
Russia think about this?
and I also
What do you
think,
think about Russia, Dale?
yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about Russia because that could be an oil issue too, but I think
Yeah,
it's going to affect the grains, Steve. And that's one of the things I want to talk about
that's
for
big.
next year because if they take, they're trying to take Odessa. And the reason grain sold off after the invasion was Ukraine's the breadbasket, one of the biggest
Yeah.
breadbaskets in the world. And if they
Yes.
can't get grain out because of what Russia does in the Black Sea, there could be some pretty big moves, let alone weather issues. And everyone's just like everyone's bearish oil, everyone's bearish of grains. All you hear is bad press. Farmers are going broke, which they are. They needed a bailout. China's not buying. Why would anyone look at grains right now? But what I want to start with first is what you rode like a champion, the debasement trade by being long miners, being long gold, being long silver, and part of that has been dollar weakness. So I
Yeah.
believe the debasement trade has been too widely embraced. And if you let me share, I'll map
Yeah.
out what I think could happen in the dollar. Okay, so if you stop sharing, then I can.
Here, I just had it. Where's my Zoom? Zoom. Got it. Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the dollar. And Steve, I think that the dollar is one of the most important instruments on the board. If you get the dollar right,
Absolutely.
you get the dollar
Absolutely.
right, you can
You're
get
right.
everything else right because when the dollar is weak, it lifts all boats
So
mostly.
true.
And when
Gold,
the
crypto,
dollar, yeah,
everything.
and when the dollar is strong, it can suppress prices or depress
Prices.
prices. So
Yep.
this is what the bears are saying. And everyone's bearish a dollar. They have been for quite some time. Here's the weekly. So the bears are saying this rally that we had from 96.5 is over. And we're on our way to crash and make new lows. If we do that, we take out like a 14-year uptrend line.
Wow.
And it's my contention that before that happens, we're going to put in a higher low here. And there's going to be one more wave to the upside towards 103 that's going to pressure different markets. Pressure the gold, which look, gold's down 30 now. Pretty negative day, right? Even silver's down a buck after making new highs. Pretty negative day. So, I'm not looking for a silver crash, but why not back to the double top at 55?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
silver is
you,
going to end up doing a little shakeout. It's too,
yeah,
everybody's just wild. It needs, and it's healthy, by the way.
yeah.
Want
And
the
why not
pullback.
gold?
It's nice.
Why not gold
Yeah,
back to 3,600
yeah,
during this
yeah.
dollar rally?
Which
So
is still bullish, even if it goes and then it goes higher.
yeah, yeah. So
It doesn't matter. It's
yeah,
still, yeah. A
yeah.
lot of people don't know that, Bill.
The whole trade is the
It's
dollar is
healthy.
going to set up buying opportunities and everything. I think it's going to be a pretty good rally. I mean, there are a lot of people that love the euro. I think that
Yeah,
we could trade 112, 110, 108.
nice.
All right, cable I think could trade 130, 130, 127 is actually my target in cable. I think it could trade down here. And while this is going on, I think there's pressure in everything, including equities and metals. Just like everything's going up together, it's all one
Yes.
market based on the dollar. Everything can pull back together. So the beginning of the year, or maybe a month or two, is going to be down as the dollar rallies. And then once the dollar reaches these levels, um, back to 10, back towards 102, 103. Look, there's even monthly moving averages here. Then I'm looking for a dollar sell off to take this out and trade 90, 85. And everything's going to be going ballistic to the upside just based on dollar weakness. Buy anything, go buy a shovel. It'll be worth more in a few months. You'll have to pay more because of the dollar weakness that may be coming. But
Yeah.
before that, all the people that are bearish a dollar, when we get up here to 102 and the euro's trading 110, they're going to go, what happened to the debasement trade? The dollar's going up. So this is really just a positioning type of thing. And maybe they're, just shake out dollar bears to end up having the setup once they're gone to then have the big dollar decline. So that's, I could be wrong if we don't bottom here. We take out the lows, I'm wrong. The lows are here at 96, 20. I'd say if it starts taking out 97, that's pretty likely. But I am
Yeah.
getting some divergences on the 4 hour.
Mm.
And, this is a one, this is a two, this is a three. And here's your technical line for knowing the dollar is turning good. Back over 98.80,
There we go.
you have a bottom.
Yeah.
So that's my look ahead for 2026 based upon that I think there's going to be a counter trend move in the dollar.
I like it. I should
Okay.
look at the dollar a lot more. I
And
tend to look at the security I trade in that everything's in the chart anyway, but the dollar would give you I do look at it, but
Yeah,
The dollar seems to be controlling everything, if you ask me.
it does.
Definitely.
It
Yeah,
does.
it
I mean,
does. It makes sense.
things go up and down with different magnitudes,
Yeah.
but pretty much a weak dollar is bullish for everything almost, except maybe long-term bonds. And
And
a strong dollar is pretty much bearish for everything.
yeah,
So that's what I think is coming at the beginning of the year. And everyone's bearish Bitcoin, but I just want to point out something. Someone asked me to look at this ratio, and it's Bitcoin against gold, and see how we've really had a big decline with, the crypto getting killed. I
and
think
gold
I'd
going
be
up.
on the lookout for this ratio to turn, to know that you have a turn in Bitcoin, and it's starting to diverge on multiple time frames. That's a daily, that's a 4 hour. It looks a lot like the dollar. And you know
Yeah.
what else looks like the dollar? People
One
should
for
pay
one.
attention to. Gold silver ratio has absolutely gotten massacred with this move in silver, and there's absolutely no divergence um, on it. But I don't think that I think it's going to correct. We're up today.
I think so too.
So, we could have a pretty big correction because this was a Niagara Falls decline. Why can't we rally
In my
back?
personal opinion, Dale, it'll be
Yeah,
quick too, lethal, hard. They got to shake it,
yeah,
eh? It'll be
yeah,
devastating. You'll see silver down 4 or 5% one day. You'll see because that's what they do. They
yeah,
just shake. It's devastating when it goes down silver. I know because I've seen it, and I've been stuck one time on it. I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing? Overnight they do it, eh? From six
yeah,
till nine, I've seen it get the same with oil. They just slaughter it. It works because everybody gets scared. Oh, I gotta get out. And then they start buying the other end. You
yeah,
can tell them just slipping in.
yeah.
Anyway,
So
good
here
stuff,
we
bro.
we have new contract highs in S&Ps. You have a view into next year, Steve?
Yeah, gold,
Just
S&P, I'm still bullish. It looks here, I'll like, share my chart here if you want to see S&P
yeah,
here quick. But
because I noticed today the Mag 7 isn't. Can you remember a time when S&Ps were making new highs without NASDAQ and Mag 7?
weird, eh? I know. It's just
Or without NVIDIA at new highs.
you know
Uh,
what it is, Dale? I think they have like AI in this or something because the AI could do everything. If the government really was controlling things, which I think they are, they know which stocks to push, and this will make the market. They'll know everything.
yeah,
Funds like all you need is like five big funds working together that have hundreds of billions together, and they could push everything. They can
yeah.
if push it
Well,
amongst the price.
talking
They know
about
what to
things
do.
being pushed, how about this move in the cannabis stocks? And I know you want to talk
Yeah,
about that too. I mean, when I look at that chart, that sure looks like a bulletin board pump and dump.
it
Um,
is. It is.
wasn't it?
It's purely. It is. It's
Do you
just I
think
don't know
any
what the
of
hell's going on with those stocks,
Well, do you
but
think any of our president's friends or family got long cannabis, knowing?
for
Um,
sure, that's for sure.
I'd like to know who
Well,
was selling that day because that break is not just a buy the rumor, sell the fact. That was a dump. I mean,
that was a dump.
that
Yeah,
candle is the biggest candle on the chart.
it's a
Anyway,
dump.
let's see what
So
you're
bad.
looking for in the S&Ps, buddy.
So this is not long term, of course. This is just maybe for next month. But I was looking for a 69.75 hit, 69.80 as soon as my out broke. Instead, it was going to be a very high probability we come to the B for a squeeze. Notice it came back to the L pivot, to the tick,
Yeah,
and bounced hard.
yeah,
We're here right now, and look at the band way up. We do got my band lower, so I'm looking for a correction from the B. Maybe come back down to this blue line, 69.30, and they'll hold up the uptrend, or they can go back to this institutional area. Notice that the lows they were buying, notice even down here. So,
yeah.
um, a very high probability we're probably going to take out that 69.80 and make our way to 70.45, uh, the
Good.
7,000s plus. Like I
Yeah,
said, my lower band is lower. I think we're going to pull back from the B, maybe trap some shorts in the new year because they love doing that. maybe come back to the L. This will hold again and then make its way up to the T. I like that because my upper band is lower. I just don't like this band looking like that. And the oscillator has room still. Like it's not peak like here or here. And
Yeah.
as you can see, it's crossing back up. And if they can get peaked above like how it got here, that's a definite 70-45 clip on my T target. Notice that
Okay.
T also matches my upper band here where there's
Yeah.
kind of a liquidity.
Could we get a by that time, and that could probably happen early next year, or who knows, Friday. After that, do you see any potential downside on your longer term charts where when the dollar rallies,
Yeah,
if the
right
dollar
here.
rallies, that we could have some type of sell off?
Like right
Um,
here, the 70-45.
yeah.
Just like gold. Let me show you gold yesterday. I don't know if you saw the video.
I saw you put out, will
It's
gold
right
get
here.
to,
Right
you put
here.
out
That
a
was my
tweet.
long-term
Yeah.
target. Look at it. And
Yeah.
I said, if you listen to the video, I said, listen, take profit on this T. Don't
Yeah.
screw around with it.
Yeah.
Look at the candle from the T
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
Look at that
I saw
beauty.
that. Yeah.
Some people took so there's like look. If it's a T, this is according to what I do. I always take profit on T's. Like I don't screw around with it. Very rare does it get ran over. The silver ran it over.
Yeah.
Very rare though.
Rare.
But you're
Yeah.
here to make money. You know what I mean? Like, are you here for your own ego or are you here to make money? Like, we're here to trade. We're here to pocket some gains. We're not looking for grand slams. We're looking for, a nice single, a nice double here and there. I'm talking like baseball wise, take things step by step. I find that people that rush this and just want to hit they do options for 10 grand and expect to make 5 million. Like, it could
Yeah.
happen. You could be lucky, but the odds are not in your favor. Take things step by step when you trade and take increments because I find those are the people that last in these markets. People that don't, people that take it step by step. And that's why I always say trade level
They're
to level.
not swinging for the fences.
They're not swinging. And you could get lucky. There's guys that do swing for the fences, end up making millions, but they give it all back because they really didn't understand that was luck. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of luck in the market. Believe me, there is.
I'm not
Um,
against luck, Steve.
I'm not
Not
against
at
luck
all.
either. But the thing
Yeah.
is, do you understand it was luck? And
Yeah.
what these people do is they continue to
They
press
think
that
they're
luck and they give it
geniuses.
all back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I have for a gold. Look at that beautiful hit. Look at that wick and candles. So gold, like you said, this could be it for a nice correction, Dale.
Yeah.
From
Right.
here. And this
And
is
this
the
is the first time I've heard you talk about selling gold, and it's near the high, Steve.
Oh, I've talked about like taking profit and
Yeah.
look, people say like, oh, I don't want to sell it to T. Like I'm an intraday trader, and you could have took a short here,
Yeah.
and you could have took shorts this as an intraday trade just to take
Right.
15, 20 points, which is huge in the futures, where
Yeah.
you sell short here, you come in, you go to your intradays and you're like, I'm going to take half off and you let the rest ride. Now, if you let that rest ride, and this is a top, you can make quite a bit of a boatload. If it goes back up and stops you out on a short, you're out on entry, but you still made 50% covering, right? If
Right.
you're long, you take some, you're still holding long some, and it could even get back to 42.25 and you're still long.
Okay.
As a swing trade. Because, like, look at this move this freaking thing did. Like, Dale, this is, and from January, what we call the low, it's massive.
Yeah.
So you got a massive move. Like,
And I was around in 1980 for, that the last peak of the bull market when Russia invaded Afghanistan. So, yeah, this is really the most powerful move I've
here's
seen in
here's the
metals in my
January
career.
move me and Dale were talking about. From here, me and Dale said, we like gold. It's going to
Yeah.
fly. And this is what you got all year. This is a massive move. Okay. So,
Yeah.
a
A lot of people got rich on this one.
lot of people.
So
Yeah.
I hope that they realize that they never go broke taking profits.
You should
And
always take profits. I've learned it the hard way. Nick. There's so many times where okay, it could happen where it just continues, but it is what it is. I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's all. But it's always good to have that little runner, right?
yeah,
And right now, it's good to have a runner because, 45 breaks back above. then we can go to 4,600,
Yeah. Well,
right?
I tell you what, there's a couple of ideas that our viewers can pay attention to and really apply what you're talking about in oil with energy
Yeah.
stocks, just like we talked about the precious metals and miners. Now you could drill down and start looking some of these energy stocks. You know, energy stocks have held up so well
They
compared
have.
to the WTI. Perhaps that's a bullish signal in itself.
It is. They usually lead the way. Remember when
Yeah,
oil went minus?
yeah,
Energy stocks were going higher.
yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oil's getting killed, and these energy stocks made a low.
yeah. And for
Oil is
people looking for the end of the dollar, I don't think it's now. If we take out 96, yeah, it's now. And gold will go to, 10,000 and
What do you got
silver
for
will go
silver,
to.
Dale? Because I
I
know
think
you have
silver's a top, and I think we go back to at least that double top breakout at 55.
do a nice reset, another pump. You think?
Yeah. Well,
I believe it.
I'll wait for the dollar.
Yes,
Let's see where the
sure.
metals are at if and when the dollar's at 102, 103. And that's when I'll be paying attention to buying the world. Okay. You want to be long everything after
True.
that. So that's
So, what's your call for the market in 2026? Are we going to continue? You think going
I
into the new year?
I think it's the same thing. I think it's going to correct with the dollar. I think and then melt up 7,800 or so in the S&Ps. But I still think we could see a pullback to 62, 6,300 before that happens.
It looks
And
like Dale that this market needs it needs a trigger for if this market to correct. It needs a bad event. That's what it
there's
looks
lots
like
of
to
them.
me.
There's lots of them.
But it needs to. There needs to be like a really bad event where the funds are like, I give a that's it, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
some kind of COVID event. It's the only way this market could correct a really good correction. Until then, this thing just chugs
Maybe it's
and
a
chugs
bond
and chugs
market.
and chugs and chugs.
How
That's all it.
about how about the carry trade, Steve? We haven't talked about this, but this
But
is
how
a
come that's
big
not
deal.
factored in? It already happened. Like, well, that's it.
No,
Like,
no,
why
you need the
isn't this?
yen. You need the yen to start going up for the carry trade unwind. It's still
It
heading.
happened. Oh, didn't they raise the most in 30 years or so?
Yeah,
But
but
like,
the carry trade, the yen's still trading here. Let me show it. So
and a
I
lot of people
think
are talking about it, but where's the reaction in the market?
we have it's the yen has to go up in value. So this is U.S. dollar yen when it's going up is the yen is um, losing value. So here's my line in the sand for the beginning of
Should I
an
stop? Let me
unwind.
see. Go ahead. Bring up the
Fifth,
chart.
there it is. Do you see it? 54 and a half is what held before this is their hike. And then it's pulled back. I don't know if it's topped yet. We could still get another pop, but under 54.50 is going to be a problem. What people don't want to see is both the dollar going up and the yen going up, which would
And
mean US dollar yen going down. That
then you
would
would see
be,
a crisis. Then you would see something.
then you'd see liquidation because that's the structure. People are buying stuff using the dollar and the yen for carry.
But don't you think
So
these funds know about this carry trade and eventually what is going to happen? You don't think they get tipped off
I
because they
think
know
they know.
it's going to affect the market. So they had
I think
lots
they
of
know.
time to resolve this. That's why it didn't do anything in the market. It didn't do nothing.
I
They
think the
raised.
funds know.
I think
But but
they already positioned for it.
uh,
They were told. Okay, guys, we're gonna. This was they were probably told last year. You
but
got
you
a year to
understand my point.
resolve this. Yeah, makes
The
sense.
yen went up. The yen went down on that rate hike. So the other problem is, and I think Bessent's going to help them because he doesn't
Yeah,
want to
for
see a
sure,
weaker yen.
for sure.
But the unwind of the carry trade doesn't happen until you have a breakdown in U.S. dollar yen. It didn't happen yet, Steve. People don't have to worry about it, and they don't have to worry about the dollar carry trade when the dollar is down here at 100 or 102. They will, and in the yen, if we break 4.5, they'll start worrying about the carry trade. because then we could see 48 and then we could see lower levels. So that's the one I'd call black swan that no one expects, a big dollar rally and the yen to be able to rally.
Do you
Those you don't
think
want.
that the administration will let this market kind of correct normally? It seems like every little bit of a correction, I see it. Trump
I think
starts
they'd be better off letting it
like they,
correct now
yeah,
instead of towards the end of the year into the midterms.
I think
So
so
have
too.
have a bad first quarter and then start melting up into the midterms.
Or
That
do you
would
think that
be the ideal if I was president.
or do you think it's after the midterms? Then they're going to say, okay, let it go to hold it up for the midterms so he gets his votes. It's political, Dale. Come on, it doesn't make sense to me. This guy picks up the phones like crazy. Him and Bassett, they start making calls to all these funds. I believe that they're doing it.
Yeah,
I see
there.
the bottoms being bought. Like, and if you get a couple big funds on your side, you could control them. You can. I don't care when it. And a lot of the central banks around the world, it's you know as well as I know, you could control this market. A freaking nuke could drop, and they'll if they don't want it to go down, they don't want it to go down.
Well,
I don't know.
so far the Japanese have not been able to control the market.
They'd be a nuke
They're
drop. You know what they would say? It was factored in. Yeah,
they they
I'm just
this
saying.
carry trade
It's
I've
just so
heard
retarded.
described is going to be a margin call on Japan.
You think so,
Okay.
eh?
Yeah, if it
And then
happens. Yeah, and I think it
you
will.
think Japan's going to be the breaker here?
Yeah, I think Europe could be too.
Yeah,
And
Europe's
let's
scary.
not forget one last thing. And I don't see anything great happening with these.
Treasury, yeah, yeah. This is this
So
is key.
I only see two drives here. So yeah, if we get back above 93, there's all clear, but we've done nothing. And maybe we're going to get an event. And it's not just our bond market. Global bond markets are in trouble, Steve. Japan and the UK, everywhere. The German bonds, the long end of every sovereign market is under pressure, and everyone's looking for buyers. And buyers are going home to support their home market, like the Japanese will be coming into, they'll be repatriating. So that's what I see as repatriation um, in Japan that could cause this problem with the yen and a stronger yen.
Makes sense. I just think that the only way this market's going to correct is with an event. That's
Well,
it.
you got,
That's
a
it.
lot of people are
I mean it.
a lot of
And
people
then
are saying,
until then, I'll go higher. That's all. They'll just
well,
keep on chugging. That's it.
what you're looking for in oil, that's an event.
True. Yeah. If oil gets really high, then that's the
And
inflation.
what are bonds going to do if oil's at $80? Are they going to
Jeez.
rally? They could barely rally with oil at 55.
I know. It's going to be an
Okay.
interesting year. It's going to be
And
an interesting year
you know
for
what
sure.
makes it even more interesting to have a friend like you and an excellent trader to talk to about
By the way,
different
I'm
things
glad I'm
that,
spending my Christmas Eve with you. If there's anybody that I'd want to, it'd be Dale. Just to
you
let you
know,
know.
I'm telling
I
you,
love spending with you, Dale.
it's
Love it.
always fun. It's always
It
fun
is.
too.
It is. It is.
So, what do you say I take us out with a Christmas song?
Absolutely. Where's the
Okay.
guitar though? You got your
Uh,
guitar?
yeah, I don't have it with you. I'll just do
You
a
got
cappella. All right.
it's stored in the back. I got it later for
It,
Christmas Day.
it's gonna be a blue Christmas without you.
Oh my God, that's a
I'll
beautiful voice.
be so blue just thinking about you. You'll be doing all right with your
Oh my
Christmas
God.
of
Yeah.
white, but I'll have a
Blue, blue.
blue Christmas.
That was awesome. Dale, I
Oh
never knew you
man.
could sing like that. Where did that come from? Are
Uh,
you sure you're doing a recording in the
hey,
background? You're
they
lip singing?
Elvis did,
Were you lip singing there? Were you lip
Elvis
singing?
didn't die. He
That
became a
sounded
trader, lives in California.
That did not sound like you, by the way. Is Jose like playing a play something in the back or something?
Oh, I'm
Are
like
you
Jim
sure you weren't lip
Neighbors.
singing? I was absolutely, that was good, Dale. I'm impressed. That
Merry
was
Christmas,
beautiful.
brother.
That was beautiful.
Merry
Oh my
Christmas,
God.
man.
Merry Christmas, Dale, to you too. And I wish all the viewers the best going into
Yeah,
2026, a healthy and prosperous 2026. And Dale, I look forward to the other show, another
yeah,
show down the road. And
we'll catch up.
yeah, let's see what
And
2026 brings. And let's see if
my
we can have
advice
a
is
double
to,
whammy, another oil.
yeah, stick with Steve and me. We'll do our best to get you through and have a good year. That's our
Merry
goal.
Christmas,
That's
Dale,
our
and
mission.
Happy New Year, man.
All right, you too, brother. My
Take care, guys.
trading warrior brother, Steve Marcantonio, the best traders, the Pivot King. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Dale. Take care, guys.